This is a narration by Tales of Terror. The Centurion jumped from the battlements, catching a hanging crew rope and hauling himself up into the last gunship. As its engines flared and carried it away, Argel Tal closed his wings back against his shoulders again. He heard the bootsteps he'd known were coming. "You look weak, my son," said Erebus from behind him. Argel Tal leaned on the battlements, the blood rain washing his armor.
"I feel weak. I spent several hours on the front lines, being stabbed and cut and shot, trying to defy your prophecy."
"Kill him, or yield control of our body, so I may kill him."
"No, I have to hear this." Erebus walked out from a tower onto the battlements to join his former pupil. His Crozius was pristine, unmarked by gore, as was his armor. Argel Tal noted it with a disgusted shake of his head, and looked back over the warring city, beginning to drown in blood. "Kharn lives," Erebus said. "That's good, my boy. He has to live. The powers have so much hope for the 8th captain, you know."
"Kill him, Argel Tal. Kill him now. Kill him, or yield control of our body, so I may kill him."
"Be silent, Raum."
"What do you mean?"
Argel Tal asked aloud. Erebus's scholarly face, so solemn and stern, softened for a moment as he met the other word-bearer's gaze. "Kharn has been chosen."
"By the gods?"
"Of course," Erebus replied. "Who else?" He took a deep breath, pushing away from the battlements and pacing the wall. Argel Tal's wings twitched and itched as Erebus walked away. He watched the legions fighting in the city below, driving back the Ultramarines, pushing them through the streets back to their landing sites. "Argel Tal," Erebus said quietly. The inflection was strange. Despite saying the name, it didn't sound as if he was speaking to the other warrior.
"What? Kill him! He forced us to fight for the Slayer's life, so we will be weak now."
The ritual dagger slid into Argel Tal's spine, gentle as a lover's touch. Raum's furious cry trailed away, faded, and not even an echo remained. For the first few seconds, there was nothing. When pain blossomed from the wound, it did so like something unfolding cold inside him, wrapping around his bones. He staggered, claws scraping over the metal battlements, all strength sucked from him. Claws? Hands. His hands scratched at the battlements. A legionary's hands. A legionary's weakness. Raum! Raum! There was no Raum. The demon's absence was a shock many times more painful than the knife. Argel Tal's helmet slipped clear, baring his too human face to the downpour. He tasted the blood of countless innocents slaughtered in the Shadow Crusade. It stung his eyes, and he couldn't summon the strength to wipe his face clean. The knife came free with a jerk and the crunch of violated meat. It took the pain with it, flooding his muscles with a hatefully pleasant numbness. Erebus stood patiently, watching Argel Tal collapse. In his hands he held a knife the length of his forearm, bone-handled and engraved in Colchizian runic script. It was always you, the chaplain said. In every one of the 10,000 paths, your erratic, emotional foolishness leads us to lose the war. You had one last chance to turn away from this fate, if you could just overcome the death of that worthless whore priestess. But no, you begged me to bring her back, and in doing so proved you were as worthless as she was. You cannot be relied upon. You cannot be trusted. You cannot, for want of a better word, be controlled. And we need control if we are to win this war, my boy. Argel Tal coughed blood, reaching a trembling hand out to drag himself closer to his killer. Don't fight it. Erebus shook his head. I confess, I'm amazed you can move at all. No one else has been able to move after the killing stroke. What a saddening moment to discover you're stronger than I thought. Argel Tal crawled another meter closer. Erebus smiled, resting a boot on the Vakrayal's hand. The ceramite started to split and crack, but there was still no pain. Kharn has been chosen, the chaplain stated. And in every future I saw, the one thing that altered his fate was you. You, my boy, would have saved him. I am Destiny's hand, Argel Tal. Can you even conceive of my role and responsibility? You would break my path and change Kharn's fate. I cannot allow it. Let him carve his destiny free of your fraternity. Immortality awaits him this way. Argel Tal lifted his head, speaking through clenched teeth.
I die in the shadow of great wings. Not here. Not here.
Erebus stepped aside. Behind him, the fortress tower was marked by the Imperial Aquila, streaked with blood from the hellish storm. The two-headed eagle stared into the rain, its wings wide and proud. So you do, Erebus agreed, and the chaplain turned away. Goodbye, my son.